Listen, this Lifecast is kind of focusing on my guest's sort of life and a bit of journey. We connected a couple months ago, just again on just because it was getting crazy for you with Juju and stuff, which we'll touch on. But I actually, outside of all the business and stuff, I just wanted to get you on to kind of chat about the journey of Raine Maida, through that process of trying to break through and make it as the band and then maintain it and all these different things that we've gone through. It's pretty
Yeah, it's
crazy,
interesting.
to see where it's kind of gone. So, Toronto boy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back, I mean, I think the thing about creativity for me has always been that one part. If I go back to like my journey, even to like fourth grade, I remember this little Catholic school I went to in Etobicoke, just outside of Toronto. I remember loving creative writing, and I think what's been constant through my life is just trying to hang on to that creative spark, because I knew I had it as a, like I said, I don't know when you are in fourth grade, but as a 7 or 8 year old, like I actually had something, and then it kind of went away for a while, and then I was able to reconnect with it, and now it's just like hanging on to it for dear life. So, excuse me, whether it's music or tech, producing, writing, like anything, I don't paint, but watching my wife paint, just trying to always stay around it is really, really crucial to like my life force. And I've kind of like tried to set myself up so it's always around me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, once you get a taste of it and then you start, hence I don't make music anymore, so I started a podcast. And you're sort
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
trying to keep going and to at least have great conversations and learn things about people. And I always find that they're really great conversations, and you get to learn a little bit about the journey, which is important to me to teach, especially now. Acts trying to break it. I mean, there's a million ways to try to break it, but coming through the process that you guys had to come through to get to that level is almost a ancient history now. There's a new process to doing it, and kind of the same. Was it a musical house for you, like, or a creative house for you that sparked that, or did something kind of you found that on your own?
No, I definitely found on my own. I went away to school in high school, and then I made a I made a real effort because I found kind of music when I was 16. My parents split up a year before, and I really just would like kind of just dive into like Gabriel and the Stones and the Clash and just Rush and all these like any artist that had albums that you could listen to like all the way through, so like real kind of, you know, that kind of career type artist. U2 definitely early on, and REM and stuff. And so I just got lost in that. It became a bit of a like a religion to me. And so that's where I really started to connect. It's like, oh yeah, I remember I really loved creative writing when I was young. I just am so um, I got so lost in lyrics and words by the artist that I'm talking about, Neil Young, and it became one of these things where it's like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to write words, but I guess if I'm gonna explore that, I probably need to sing them, I guess. So it was about picking up a guitar, going through my journals, just kind of like I'm totally self-taught because of that need just to express myself. And after high school, I stayed in Toronto. I went to U of T, but it was like, let's find a band. So it all started in Toronto, and just kind of like anything, worked my ass off. But it takes luck. We got a record deal, and continue to work our asses off. It's like no matter where you are in that creative journey. I think that's what I was trying to get at earlier. It's like you just want to continue to have that inspired kind of, I don't know, baseline, at least when you go to do something. Because I've had moments in our career, like there's, like any career, there's peaks and valleys where I haven't felt that inspired, where I felt like, why am not why am I doing this, but it just doesn't have that juice anymore. So being able to reconnect with it is really important.
That's I'm fascinated by the lyric process, writing lyrics. And you hear about it all the time about bands, the structure of a band between, oh, well, they write the music and he writes the lyrics, or vice versa. And you hear all the funny stories about, like, hilarious story years ago when Metallica were like, we're going to spread the lyrics around. And it was, and it was like, no, we're not doing that anymore. And I'm always amazed when you hear something that resonates with somebody, does that start with the melody for you? Like you kind of hum it and you're going, oh, wait, I've got this in my journal. Or you're kind of going to a place to write that lyric that's going to hook people in.
Yeah, it's different. I definitely keep journals. To this day, I still even write some journals out, even though we all use notes on our iPhones. But I think the magic for me, and I try to do this every morning. I grab a coffee, I do whatever business shit I got to do, and then I grab a guitar. And it's really about like finding that moment where you maybe start. For me, I start finger picking. It's usually an acoustic guitar, so I start finger picking or playing chord progression or something, start humming a melody, and then a lyric pops out. And when those three things come together in that moment, and it's singular in the sense of it's just me, it's like eureka. And then it happens as well, like, we don't do it as much anymore, especially during COVID, but like on stage before a show or at a sound check, and the bands they start something and I vibe off that, and a lyric and a melody comes. Sometimes that's just as powerful. But the purity of doing it on your own, I will say there's something incredibly special about that. But I am all for it. Like, there's well, he's got a new single. We just did a record with David Siddick from TV on the Radio for Spiritual Machines Part 2. And the first single is a song called Stop Making Stupid People Famous. I had that lyric for 2 years. That was something you start drilling down on. I got kids, I'm seeing them on social media. One of my good friends used to run VH1 and MTV, and he's kind of the guy that, he's an incredible music aficionado and fan. At the same time, he's part of that whole, all of a sudden, how does the guy or sorry, I guess it was Paris Hilton has a show first, but then Flavor Flav, how does he has a reality show? What's happening here? It's like from Fight the Power, now he's on this really cheesy reality. It's just, you follow those breadcrumbs. Anyway, this lyric comes out, and I was like, okay, I have to make sure that has the right platform as terms of a track or a song. So I just held on to that until something came about. And yeah, I think that's the key. It's like never pushing stuff away. You let stuff in, and the stuff that's not great, you just let it filter through. But the stuff that sticks, man, it's so worth hanging on to. And it's just waiting, sometimes being patient for that moment. And Stop Making Stupid People Famous is kind of like an exercise in patience for me.
Thanks for stopping by, friends, to the Brenton On Tour podcast channel on YouTube. Coffee, music, travel, life, all of those things. One page, lots of guests, lots of chatter. We talk about all of it. If you like it, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Thanks, friends. See you next time.